Radiator Springs is the main setting in the Cars movie, and obviously the most important place in the whole series, as it returns in almost every Cars production, including the Storyteller's Tales and the Cars Toon episodes. The little town along Route 66 isn't a real place, but as many settings shown in Pixar films at least based on a real existing site. There's also a truth about Radiator Springs, which we're gonna disclose in this video. To find a possible place for the town, we firstly need an approximate location. Therefore, we have to find some clues from the movies, giving us some information. The first movie of the Cars installment starts in Motor City, the place where the Motor Speedway of the South is located. As the name already says, this racetrack is somewhere in the south of the US. After the race, it is announced that Lightning, the King, and Chick will meet in LA in 1 week for a tiebreak race. Meg leaves the speedway in order to take McQueen to the race, using Interstate 40. A couple of hours before he loses Lightning, Meg is heading to a mountain that is cut in the middle. The interstate directly goes through this rock. A similar rock can be seen on Interstate 40 near Kingman in Arizona, in the east of 93 Junction. Maybe the mountain in the movie is also based on Shiprock, which is on the drive from Arizona to New Mexico. Another reference for this theory may be the fact that Radiator Springs is, according to The Art of Cars, between Gallup in New Mexico and Kingman. As Meg only needs 1 night more to arrive in LA, it's likely that Radiator Springs is somewhere in Arizona. An important clue for that suggestion is also the landscape. When McQueen meets Mater for the first time, the old tow truck tells him that he's in Radiator Springs, the cutest little town in Carburetor County. Lightning looks at the old buildings of the town. In the background we can see some mountains. Later, after Mater has taken the parking boot off, Lightning drives along Route 66, and there are some unique mountains surrounding the road. When Sally tells Lightning the story about Radiator Springs, she mentions how the interstate was built while watching the amazing landscape. While she's talking, there's a flashback scene where we can see a map of Route 66. There, we get to know that the town is somewhere in Ornament Valley. We have already seen this name on Doc Hudson's clinic. The Ornament Valley is a reference to Monument Valley in Arizona, which is characterized by a flat plain with huge mountains. Considering the Carburetor County again, we can assume that this may be a reference to the Grand Canyon, as the landscape in Ornament Valley also resembles the Grand Canyon area. If we combine those pieces of information and now take a look at a map of Arizona, we see that Radiator Springs should be located in North Mid-Arizona, perhaps around Flagstaff. Returning to the movie, you may remember Fred, when he comes out of Lizzie's Radiator Springs Curious shop, having some stickers on his body. As we've seen in the credit scene, these stickers are featuring Kingman, Barstow, and San Bernardino. Those cities and Flagstaff can be heard in the credit song, as they all can be found alongside Route 66 between Arizona and California. That could mean that Radiator Springs is somewhere between Flagstaff and Kingman, which would be Seligman. You see, there are many different suggestions about the town, but let's sum up again what we are aware of so far. Radiator Springs is somewhere in Arizona on Route 66. Also, we know that it's near the interstate, as Sally mentioned it talking about the past of the town. On the map that was shown in the flashback, we see Interstate 40 and Route 66 running parallel. When the interstate highway system was introduced, sections of Route 66 became part of Interstate 40, so there are only a few sections where the two roads are separated. When we now go to a real map of Route 66, there's one point where it leaves the interstate for a while. The course of both roads resembles the one on the map of the flashback. This part of Route 66 is between Seligman and Kingman. Thinking of the flashback again, you may also remember when Sally mentioned that the interstate was built to save 10 minutes of driving. When we compare the drive from Seligman to Kingman using the interstate with the drive using Route 66, we see that it's about 15 minutes faster taking the interstate, so it's possible to find Radiator Springs between those two cities. At this point, there are no more clues given by the movie, so if we want to deepen our search for a location of the little town, we have to follow Route 66. The problem is that I have two suggestions where to find the town. Considering the landscape, I am led to the Ornament Valley in the north and a bit in the east of Arizona. But thinking of the fact that the town seems to be between two intersects of Route 66 and the interstate, I am persuaded that the town is more in the west half of Arizona. When we follow the Route 66 after having passed Seligman, we get to a census-designated place called Peach Springs, which is located at 35 degrees north and 113 degrees west. As there only live about 1,000 people and the name is pretty similar to Radiator Springs, it's most likely the town is based on Peach Springs. If you're still unconvinced about that theory, we can have a look at the landscape there. It's a mixture of desert and mountains. We have the same situation in Radiator Springs, so this suggestion is very precious. Not only the town, but also its buildings are based on realistic places alongside the historic road. I think they are all made in this unique style of shops that can be found on Route 66, but one I'd still like to show is Ramon's House of Body Art, just because it's one of my favorite Radiator Springs buildings, actually the favorite, apart from Sally's Cozy Cone Hotel. Well, they are all pretty well done, and I love all of them when I'm thinking about the town, but somehow Ramon's is my favorite. Maybe because of the nice bricks of the walls and this rounded window. However, it's based on a real-life building called Conoco. It includes a gas station, and in the back there's also a cafe. So maybe you already know this building, but I think it fits into the video very well, because we're talking about Radiator Springs and the truth behind this fictional town, so the shops should be included. For all of you who really thought that Radiator Springs doesn't exist, you're totally wrong, because the town can actually be found in DCA Park in Anaheim in the Cars Land, which was one of the best decisions ever, and I can't wait to go there, though I won't be able until 2021, as there's always much to do, and the tickets as well as the flights are very expensive. So let's hope you all, including me, once get the chance to see Radiator Springs, as it is a dream come true. That's pretty much all I have to say about Radiator Springs. Thank you guys very much for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. And of course let me know if you like to see more of those videos about the Cars franchise, its stories, backgrounds and places and so on, cause I like them and I would desire to do more. This is Radiator Springs Reviews signing out. Bye now!